Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kylie. I'm an author, tuber, author, audio narrator, voice actress, and a professional nerd. So this is going to be the first video of my writing a novella vlog series. It's probably going to be about 3 videos put together. I have finished my first novella and I was busy doing other videos during that time. So for novella 2, I have kind of honed in on my process a little bit better for novella writing, because novella writing for me, I found is a bit different than writing a full 70, 52, like 80,000 word books. So it's a little bit different, and I just wanted to share how I did it with you guys. So let's get started.
Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in. Go on and take your bite. Count.
So the time of this video, I am 30 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I am feeling extremely big. I'm feeling very exhausted. The 3rd trimester fatigue is starting to come back, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to combat it so badly because I have 3 novellas to get done before this kid gets here, and I'm really hoping that I can get it done. So what am I doing to plot that is so different from a normal book? Well, normally what I do for a normal plot sequence is I do use the heart breathings pages, and I still use these. So I do the character's inner journey and the outer desire, and the inner desires, their goal, motivation, conflict, and I start with their character arc. It's very quick and very fast. I don't spend a lot of time on detail. I only go into like knowing what I need to know, because the 3 girls that I'm writing, I know them pretty well. They come really easily and forcefully to the forefront of my muses. So I still use this, and I write them down kind of in this little notebook that I have to kind of, like I did for the first one. So I'm gonna put them in here, including the male protagonist. So put that in there so it's all in one space. Now, the next thing that I have found that I do with the big books that I write, like the more paranormal and like deep, in-depth world building books, I have to write everything out on paper and kind of outline it that way. With novellas, I found that I do it a lot better if I just pick the beats that I need. So like for Act 1, we have the opening scene and hook. Obviously, we established the setting, the girlfriends of the allies, dramatic question, the argument against transformation, some of the stakes, maybe, possibly. Every book needs conflict. Every book needs stakes. And really the first doorway of no return and the inciting incident are what I need in the first act. And that first act for me is about 5,000 words in a novella. The second act is into the new world, the plan, tests and challenges, reactions, first pinch point, which creates the midpoint and the mirror moment. And that first half, I do 10,000 words. Act 2, second half, is the reaction to the midpoint, the new plan, the hard choices, the test, the push for the goal. Second pinch point and the second doorway of no return, that throws us into the 3rd act, and Act 2, second half, is also another 10,000 words for me. And then Act 3 is the increased danger, final plan, storming the castle or the black moment, the final battle and the resolution. And that again is 5,000 words for me. So it breaks down 5, 10, 10, 5, because I aim for 30,000 words in my novellas. I usually get to about 26, 27,000. I try to really aim for like 27,000 in my first draft. That way I give myself about 2,500 to 3,000 words to play with when I go back through and make the edits, so that I can add words, because I always add words, because that's just how I am. So what I do with this is I take it And instead of putting it on paper, I actually open up the document that I'm working in and I put my chapter headings in and who the character is, and I write down all of these, like opening scene, it's gonna go here, the setting, dramatic question. So instead of filling it out on paper, I kind of go through and fill it out on the Word document. Then what I do is once I have all the chapters with kind of a rough outline of the beats that they're gonna have, I go back through and I plot it. So I fill in the blanks, like what is the opening scene and hook, and what is the argument against transformation, and what's the first doorway, and what's the midpoint, what's the mirror moment, what's the black moment, you know? So I go in and fill it in that way, and I will show you my process from start to finish with this plotting. I have a dentist appointment I have to go to, so if I'm wearing different clothes when I come back, that's why. But yeah, so that is basically the breakdown of how I plot novellas. The reason why I don't write them on paper is because I really like the fast-paced process of the novella. So when I started the novella in this new apartment, it took me 2 weeks to write. I'd already written 5,000 words from the old apartment. So I only had 22-ish thousand words left to write. So that put me ahead. However, I found that I started writing everything down on paper and it just wasn't flowing as fast or working for me. Hello, Aska. This is Aska. She is my little girl. Hey, you want to say hi? You want to come say hi to people? Say hi. Oh, say hello. Yeah. But it wasn't working for me. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna throw my plot notes just straight onto the Word doc. And oh my goodness, it made my process just go like that, because I could literally skip around, and that's something I have never done before. I don't usually skip scenes. I don't skip scenes at all. I like to be that person who writes chronologically and gets everything out. For some reason, with the novellas, it just works for me to skip around, especially when it comes to sex scenes, because I'm just gonna say it, this whole last couple of weeks have been like bleh, in the world and in general, and also being pregnant, and some days just not feeling those emotions that you need to like push yourself forward to be like, yeah, sex scenes. And I skipped around, and I was so thankful that I had my plot notes right then and there, because I could be like, do I really want to write a sex scene today? No, I am not feeling it at all. So I just skipped down to the post sex scene and move on from there. So that is something that has really helped my novella writing. Another reason why I think I write everything down on paper and do a little bit more detailed. Like I said, novella writing isn't any easier than writing a longer book. However, with the paranormal series that I'm working on in the background, there are timelines, there are families, there are worlds, and there are storylines and plot lines that have to intertwine perfectly, like smoothly, so people can be like, oh, okay, yeah, that works. And I really have to make sure that it's detailed and I don't leave any plot holes or loose ends uncut or tied at the end in a neat little bow. So I am super excited to start the second one. The first one, I already have the cover. I have to write the blurb. That will be another small short vlog in and of itself, writing blurbs. I hate writing blurbs. They are the bane of my existence, but I have gotten a little bit better at them. I'm used to throwing keywords in there now, so hopefully we'll be able to get a bit of a better vibe on the blurb, which I really should write probably this weekend and send to my cover designer so she can finish up the paperback. So let's get going. I am going to flip the camera around so you can watch kind of like what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and yeah, this is plotting a novella. This is how I do it. This might not be how anybody else does it, but this is just what works for me. And if it can help you and your novella writing journey or process, then yay. And if you just like to watch this kind of content, even better. So let's just jump right into it. There you have the majority of how I am going to continue to do the plot for the novella, for novella number 2. I only got through today to Act 2, Part 2, and I'm probably going to finish it up tomorrow, plotting wise, and then next week is going to be all self-edits for novella 1. I didn't want to record anymore just because I felt like it was a bit repetitive. Y'all get the idea. I was putting in the beats. I was also filling in some rough idea outlines for what I want for each chapter, and so far so good. It is going as smoothly as I thought it was going to. So I'm really hoping that this novella format works out for me, and you guys will know as soon as I start vlogging the writing process, because that's when all of this becomes real and all of this becomes, does it work or not? So from me to you guys, until next time, one love.